Hey Facebook friends, it's Lyndsey and here we are on Fabulous Friday. I reckon it's hard to believe another week is gone and oh my goodness, we're nearly at the end of February. So I trust that as the last 2 months have been ticking on by, that you've achieved some of the goals that you set out to achieve at the beginning of the year, because I know that it can be tough staying on track. And I wanted to pop on today and share a story about a little voice in the back of my head that's been playing out over the last few hours, and one that had the potential to derail me if I allowed it to. So I mentioned at the beginning, hey Tamara, I mentioned at the beginning of the year that I made the decision to say no to alcohol for 3 months. And I made that decision on New Year's Eve. Not always the wisest day to make it, but I figure it was as good a day as any to make that. Hey Des. And it's been kind of interesting because I shared a few lives back that on the first 3 days, hey Karen, hey Heather, on the first, hey Ladwina, how you doing? And I noticed, Nicole, how you doing? It's lovely to see so many of you jumping on this fabulous Friday. So I noticed that when I gave up drinking as I say, made the decision on New Year's Eve. And the first 3 days, super simple. The following 2 days, not so simple. And given my addiction to gambling, gotta tell you, I was a little bit concerned that I may have been dealing with a monster that was bigger than I anticipated. But pleased to say, no, just a really bad habit that I needed to get my head and heart around, which I did, and I have. So up until this point, we are, where are we? February, about the 20-something, maybe the 21st, 22nd of Feb. No alcohol at all, been really super simple, except for those couple of days, day 4 and 5. Now, I've had an incredible week this week. Hey Naomi, had an incredible week this week. And I've got to tell you that as today has been moving forward, this little voice in the back of my head has been saying, go on, you deserve it. Go on, you know you want to. It's Friday. Go on, go get your favorite bottle of Savvy B. It's a beautiful night. Jason's off to a mate to have a couple of beers. You can have a wine together when he comes back. I know you want to. Go on, go do it. And it's been really interesting because I've even visualized the bottle of wine that I'd buy. I visualized sitting out on the balcony, enjoying it with Jason. Hey Judith, hey Elise. And it's fascinating to observe how easily we can become derailed if we're not consciously aware of that voice that's going on in the back of our head. And I call that the seductive saboteur. And I think that perhaps maybe you have had times in your life where you've been committed to changing some habits, you've made some incredible progress, you've been moving forward really well, and then the seductive saboteur kicks in and tries to convince you to go off path, tries to convince you to fall back into some bad habits that you're wanting to break free from. So I thought I'd jump on today because I'm sure that I'm not the only one who's had a voice like this. And if you can resonate, give me some love, share a thumbs up, and perhaps even share your story in the comment section below. Because as I say, on this journey of evolution and becoming the best, the wide witch, Ladwina, I hear you, classic. On this journey of becoming the best version of ourselves, breaking free from some habits is part of that process, right? Making sure that we're being our best self. Anyway, so as this voice in my head is getting louder and louder and louder, what I've come to appreciate is that you can ignore it, but sometimes when we look to ignore it, it just turns up the volume. It's a little bit like the 2-year-old who's asking you something and you don't respond, and then the volume intensifies and you don't respond, and the volume intensifies and you don't respond. And before you know it, you've got a tanty going on. So I decided to do a couple of things today, and I wanted to share them with you because it's helping to keep me on track and moving out of a space of angst. And hey, oh, hey Heather, nice to see you here too. Lovely to see you here. And so I wanted to share with you what I'm doing to silence that voice and how I'm serving and supporting myself, so that if you find yourself in a position either today or in a day in the future where you're looking to stay on task and honoring the decisions you're making to break free from some habits that don't serve you, maybe what I'm doing here in this moment might serve you, because I figured rather than me just do this stuff on my own, if it can help you in some way, then my job here is done today. Hey Corinne, hey Soph, how nice to see you, gorgeous. So firstly, what I'm doing is I'm reminding myself that this voice is merely a pattern, and it's a pattern that's acknowledging behavior that used to exist in my past, and behavior that is being triggered by a feeling that I'm feeling right now. And that feeling is one of elation. That feeling is one of success. That feeling is one of, I kicked butt this week. I actually did some really cool stuff. I've been writing for my book. I've been kicking some goals. I've been tidying up some loose ends. I've created some things for clients and projects moving forward. I mean, I have had a kick-ass week. And it's interesting because in the past, I would celebrate one of these kinds of weeks with a glass of wine. And so it's a pattern, and it's nothing more than a pattern. And that part of my brain is trying to remind me what I do to enhance the feel-good feelings and historically what I've done. So I know that it's a pattern. I know it's not who I am, and it's great to know that part of me is trying to acknowledge this great feeling that I'm feeling and trying to amplify this incredible feeling that I'm feeling. It's just that the behavior that I used to undertake, the pattern of behavior that used to exist for me, no longer serves me when it comes to amplifying the feeling. So for me today, this is about forging a definite new path forward. And it's an incredibly good milestone because it's acknowledging to myself that this has been an incredible week. And it's one that my body, my mind is choosing to celebrate with me. I simply need to find a healthier vehicle to celebrate. So here's what my celebration today is looking like. So number one, I'm knocking off an hour early because I can, and that's what happens when you're working from home. You can just say, okay, I've done incredible work, so finishing up an hour early. I'm heading off to the kitchen and I'm preparing a beautiful feast for my family. Jason and my daughter Chloe, they've popped out for a couple of hours, and while they're gone, I'm whipping up some awesome delights in the kitchen, which I know I'm going to have fun with. In the background, I've got Bohemian Rhapsody playing, so I've got some great entertainment going on in the background. I'm going to pour a glass of top shelf, might I add, top shelf sparkling mineral water, and I'm going to be indulgent today, and I'm popping a slice of lemon in that beauty because I can, and I'm going to do it in an incredibly gorgeous glass. I'm also going to have a wonderful bath filled with bubbles and all of my favorite pure essential oils. So I'm nourishing my body, I'm nourishing my soul, and I'm going to toast this new path forward as a way to celebrate these moments of glory that I'm feeling today. And I'm going to choose to do it in a way that's alcohol free so that I still honor my decision, the decision I made back on New Year's Eve to go this path of being alcohol free, because it is so easy to fall into the trap of buying into the voice of the seductive saboteur who thinks it's doing you a favor in reminding you how to celebrate, when in actual fact it's only doing what I've always done and supporting me to remember what I've always done. And it's up to me at a conscious level to forge forward this brand new path. And I got to tell you this, I'm feeling damned empowered right now for a couple of reasons. One is that I have awareness that's strong enough to get what's going on. Two, that I have a willingness to forge a new path and not fall into this trap where, frankly, if I did, I'm only going to beat myself up over it. I know alcohol does not enhance my experience of life. It doesn't do that. I used alcohol to anesthetize some of the emotion I was feeling when my youngest daughter Emma left home, and that's a whole new conversation that I'll do on a live shortly. May even do it in my Facebook group next week. It's called Evolve with Lyndsey. Pop on over if you want to hear that story. But it really is about forging forward and having this incredibly new, fresh path. And I feel empowered because A, I observed, B, I'm willing to forge a new path, and C, I decided to jump on a Facebook Live and share it with you today. And not only is it possible that it may empower and inspire one of you and maybe give you a fresh path forward, but it's also about honoring my commitment to my 14-day challenge and being more consistent, which frankly is what this 3 months for me has been all about. So I'm feeling on top of the world right now, and whatever has been going on for you in your week, I trust that you will be able to find a moment of glory in it too. Whether you've kicked some incredible goals, whether you've nailed some things that you've been working toward, or whether maybe life's throwing you a curveball and you've just decided to see the beauty in it and the magic in it and pick yourself up and move yourself forward regardless. I think Friday is a fabulous day to celebrate. In fact, any day is. So I'm toasting you today, metaphorically. I trust that you have had an incredible week and that you're looking forward to a couple of great days on the weekend, whatever that looks like for you. I'm going to pop back tomorrow and share some more. May even let you know how this beautiful indulgence happened for me today, because for me, this is a moment worth celebrating. It's about observing, acknowledging, and forging forward. So have a great weekend, everyone. It's been joyous connecting with you today and for the last few days in these Facebook Lives, and I'm excited to keep doing that with you. So if you want to join my Facebook group so we continue to stay connected, Evolve with Lyndsey is where you go, because over the coming next week, I'll be doing more lives inside my Facebook group than I will here on my public timeline. So let's stay connected and continue on this journey of life together. Have an awesome night, everyone. Bye for now.